Hi one and all, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the network topology which I have created, and it is going to demonstrate mainly about VLAN, inter-VLAN routing and spanning tree protocol. As we can see here, there's a legend on the left hand side which gives details about the labels and the IP addresses which are configured for each object in the network topology. Here we can see that two routers, that is a headquarters and branch router, which is connected to each other using a serial link. And since it is the serial link, we have configured WAN network. Between two routers, I have configured EIGRP protocol and have used MD5 authentication for the security and to ensure confidentiality between both the routers. So let's look at EIGRP dynamic routing configuration which I have made. As you can see, I have made the EIGRP configuration and I have defined all the networks to which EIGRP routing packets will be advertised. Also, I have defined passive interfaces to which the packet shouldn't be advertised. So these are basically the interfaces which are connected to the LAN network. I have defined no auto summarization, which will disable the summarization of the subnet level routes into network level routes. Also, I have made basic configuration on all the network devices such as message of the day banner, password for privilege mode, as we can see, message of the day banner, password for console ports and virtual terminal ports, password for privilege mode, and also I have defined the host name for all the network devices. Also, I have created a username for SSH protocol which is enabled on all the network devices. And here is the configuration for MD5 authentication which I have made on the serial link. So here we can see that I have used a keychain which is named as network security, and it holds a key which will be used for authentication. So this basically ensures that the routing information and the data which is shared by both the routers is legit, and therefore this can ensure security as well as confidentiality. On the site, which is connected to the headquarters router, we can see that there are three switches which are connected to each other, forming a loop. Here, I have connected three workstations, each to both the switches, that is switch 2 and switch 3. And these three workstations are in different VLANs. So VLAN 5, VLAN 10, and VLAN 15. Now, I want to allow these workstations to communicate with each other. So what I have done is I have configured VLAN trunking protocol, and I have created VLANs on all the three switches. As we configured all the three switches in the same domain, and I have configured VTP protocol on switch 1, 2, and 3, and I have configured switch 1 as the server. So let's look at the configuration. As we can see that this switch is in the server mode, and I have configured the domain as RM1930. Similarly, switch 2 is configured in the client mode. So let's look at the configuration. So this switch is in the client mode and the domain is RM1930. Also, I have configured password for VTP on all the three switches. So when switch 1 is in server mode, so this means that it will synchronize all its VLAN information with switch 2 and switch 3. So this means that if I create 3 VLANs on switch 1, it will be automatically synchronized with switch 2 and switch 3. So I have configured 3 VLANs on switch 1, which is VLAN 5, 10, and 15, and I have named them as office, production, and admin. And this will automatically be configured and synchronized on switch 2 and switch 3. Now, I have connected 3 workstations on switch 2 and 3 workstations on switch 3. So this means that the link connected to these workstations will be in access mode. So let's look at the configuration for that. So here we can see that the Ethernet interface 0/2 is in access mode and it is assigned to VLAN 5, and similarly for VLAN 10 and VLAN 15. And the same configuration is done on switch 3. Now, the links which are connected to switch 1 and switch 2 are in trunk mode. So this means that we need to enable trunking protocol because there are three different VLANs, and trunking protocol is used when we want to transmit the traffic between from three different VLANs to a particular link. So fast Ethernet 0/1 is in trunking mode, and fast Ethernet 0/5 is also in trunking mode. Similarly, on switch 1, I have configured the links which are connected to switch 2 and switch 3 and also to the headquarters router in trunking mode. Now I want the workstations which are in different VLANs to communicate with each other, and that's why I have created three sub interfaces on the headquarters router. And here we are basically trying to configure inter-VLAN routing. So let's look at the configuration. As we can see that I have created three sub interfaces 0.5, 0.10 and 0.15, and I have assigned three different IP addresses of three different subnets to this sub interfaces. I have also configured encapsulation .1q. So encapsulation is basically used for tagging the packets with VLAN ID. So let's suppose that VLAN 5 will send a packet to VLAN 10, and when this packet will reach to the headquarters router, it should know to which VLAN it is transmitting the data to. So that's why it is going to tag it with the VLAN ID of the destination, and this will easily help to identify the source and destination. These three IP addresses which are configured for sub interface will act as a gateway for three different VLANs. So we can try to ping from VLAN 5 Office 1 to VLAN 10 Production 1 workstation. And as we can see that we are getting a successful response. So this means that inter-VLAN routing is successfully configured. Now these three switches are connected forming a loop. So to avoid network jam and to create a loop-free topology, I have configured per VLAN spanning tree protocol on all the three switches. So this will help to assign spanning tree protocol to each VLAN, which will enhance performance. So here, switch 1 is configured as a root bridge for VLAN 5, switch 2 for VLAN 10, and switch 3 for VLAN 15. So let's look at the configuration for spanning tree protocol. As we can see here, that VLAN 5 root bridge is switch 1. And this means that all the ports of switch 1 will be in forwarding mode. The link which is connected to switch 2 from switch 1 will be the root port, as we can see here. And similarly for VLAN 15, the link which will be connected from switch 1 to switch 3 will be the root port. We can also look at the configuration on switch 2. You can see that for VLAN 10, this switch is the root bridge and all of its ports are in designated mode, or basically in forwarding mode. We can also see that the link which is connected to switch 3 is in blocking mode. So this means that the spanning tree protocol will use this port to break the loop, and it will it will prevent network jam. So in this video, we have discussed about this network topology, which includes the usage of VLANs, inter-VLAN routing, and spanning tree protocol. That's it for the video. Thank you so much.